Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beers Boost. I'm Barry.
I'm back.
And I'm Nathan.
And yes, if you listen to our Cars episode, Zach was away doing work shit on our recording for Cars episodes, but his lovely taste buds are back for World War Beer.
I made it for
Round
this episode.
one, yeah, round one. I'm not sure what matchups we're on, but let's just go ahead and say that we're doing the Einstück White Ale and the Adventinas Doppelbock.
Which, that was a hard one to find for me.
Liquor World got it in on Tuesday. I picked up three of them on Friday.
I called them yesterday. They're like, oh yeah, we got a shipment last week. We still have quite a few left. It's like, sweet. Sending my wife over. Tammy got it after work.
Nice.
Yeah, I got mine on Saturday from Liquor World. So
Liquor World getting that free publicity. All right, I want you to hit us up so we can actually start getting the sponsorship.
Sponsor us.
it's a
But
whole
hey,
world of liquor.
it is. It is. It's actually a pretty damn big store. But
It is.
anyway, let's just go, since we're already on the topic of it, let's go ahead and just talk about the Adventinus Doppelbock. It is a wheat double Bock. It's from Germany. On the bottle, it is can be clarified for later enjoyment or cellared for later enjoyment, but a rich and complex delight from the Bavaria's oldest wheat beer brewery. Carefully sifted ingredients, skilled fermentation in open vessels, as well as fermentation and maturation in bottle, guarantee distinctive taste of this authentic wheat ale. Let's see here, I saw their website. Well, not their website. First up is Beer Advocate has them with a 96 overall rating. It's 8.2%, and the average rating is a 4.35 out of 5. What
What
you guys thinking?
were our scores? I'm curious.
Um, if
I
I
should
could,
start pulling that up myself.
Yeah.
At least that one was empty.
yeah. Also, I can't spell Doppelbock apparently. Oh, it's because it's EL.
I always do the same thing with LE.
Well, just to talk a little bit about it, I mean, the alcohol comes through.
Mm-hmm.
It's very flavorful.
Mine's heavily carbonated.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's not much head, but like the actual carbonation in the beer is quite
Yeah.
attacking.
I guess I hadn't quite noticed that when I first took a sip. So
Fantastic head retention. I poured it about 5 minutes before we started, and it still has a good thick layer of head. And mine doesn't have super carbonation, but it's carbonated.
Mine's just got the lacing left.
The Adventinus Doppelbock somehow didn't get a score from Nathan. Not sure how, but Zach and I both gave it a 4.75, and it ended up with an overall seating of number 10. So, pretty damn high beer.
Mm-hmm.
My initial thoughts are a little oddly raisiny.
I was gonna say there's a fruitiness that I wasn't remembering. We've had so many beers; it's hard to keep track of them all. But
It's really smooth. There's a lot of roasty aspects to it in a mild manner. Like
it's not.
it's a toasty, roasty, caramely, but it's very, very light. Like
Yeah.
it's noticeable and balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know my types of beers. I'm the layman when it comes to this, but what does this have in common with a Dubel?
Not a ton. There is no, it's kind of the similar malt characteristics and similar hops, but it
Okay.
is different yeast. As a Doppelbock is a lager, so
Okay.
it's not an ale, and it's also a German yeast instead of a Belgian yeast. Then also
Okay.
its base malt is a wheat beer instead of a like a two row or something like that. Now, of course, Dubels can be made with wheat, but also Dubels have candied sugar in them, where a Doppelbock does not.
Okay. Because there are some similarities when you talked about that raisiny aspect. The raisiny, even a little bit of plum, that kind of fruit aspect. I sense that. I taste that. So
You just don't get that same yeasty funk.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of feel like it's a little bit missing. No, it's really, really smooth because it is a Bach. It's really, really nice. It hides its, what does it say, 8.6%,
I think it said 8.2.
8.2%. Yeah, it's extremely well hidden for that. I mean, that's right in the range of where a double Bach should be. According to the Brewers Association, a strong, rich, very malty German lager that can have both pale and dark variants. The darker versions are more richly developed, deeper malt flavors, while the paler versions have a slightly more hop and dryness. Should be very malty. Should be have a little bit of toasty aromas. Appearances are deep gold brown. Flavor very rich and malty. Darker versions have a significant Maillard product and often some toasty flavors. Lighter versions will have a strong malt flavor with some Maillard products. Very slight chocolate flavor is optional in the darker versions, but should never be perceived as a roasty or burnt. Should have a clean lager character, and moderately low malt-derived dark fruit character is optional in the darker versions. Mouthfeel should be medium to full body. And let's see here. Oddly enough, Adventinus Doppelbock does not make the list as commercial examples.
Interesting.
So that's the one that made it. That's the only one so far that hasn't made the commercial example.
What's on the commercial examples?
Commercial examples. I did this Sure Doppelbock, Eyinger Celebrator, the Paul Lanner Salvator, Spaten Optimator. We had that and we hated it. Oh, it was so bad.
Oh God.
And then Weihenstephaner Corbinian. Those are the dark versions. The pale version has an Ingenberg and a Plank Bavarian Heller. So
I'm surprised this isn't on the list because it kind of hits all the marks. It's got the optional fruit, but
it's got the optional. Like I kind of would rather have a little bit less of that and maybe a little more hint to a light chocolate aspect.
Maybe yeah.
I
don't mind the reason, but
yeah, I don't mind it, but I think back to Lost 40. You know, they have their Love Honey Bach.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fine Bach. It's not great. It's a little bit too sweet, but they make a Doppelbock that is more akin to what I like, where it's really just a stronger Bach flavor. That's pretty much all it is, just an 8% version of a Bach, where this has a lot going on with it, and it's almost a little bit too much for what I want, maybe?
I think I do love a malt-forward beer, and this is definitely in that realm. You talked about the Lost 40. That changes year by year. Like, if you have the Love Honey, it's a different beer from year to year. So
yeah, I didn't quite like it the last time I had it. The first time I had it, I loved it, but
yeah, I'm with you there. I do have to say that the little bit warmer that it's getting, and the more I'm drinking it, again, that like appearance-wise, this is phenomenal. Like great color, and that head is like that's perfect. I don't know how yours is only doing lacing, Zach, because this is
mine's the same as Zach's, because mine is.
Should have called my glasses.
I mean, it's keeping a head, but it's very thin.
Oh, this has a really good head. Really, really beautiful copper. Slight hint of brown toastiness. It's really, really pretty. Appearance-wise, it's a definite 5 out of 5. Doppelbock flavor, I'm not... It hits the notes, but...
Personal preference not there for you?
Personal preference, I don't think I want it as much as I do. Now, granted, it doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, it's still a damn good Doppelbock.
You gave it a 4.75, so...
That's what I was about to say. You gave it a 4.75 when you first had it, so...
It's a damn good Doppelbock. It's just... Now that I'm having it again, I kind of don't love it as much, maybe?
We've had a few beers like that where we've raised or lowered the scores on this tournament, actually, so...
Yeah.
Which we should probably get an actual score from Nathan. Maybe on the second round tasting of it, but...
Good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Were you not... Would we have done a World War Beer episode without Nathan?
No, I'm sure he's on it. He was on it and he scored it. I just didn't get it down.
Oh, okay.
Blame me. Blame the moderator.
Go back and look at the footage.
Yeah. Gotta say, I went ahead and just skipped to the Einstök White Ale, and
I forgot the thermometer, by the way.
that is really good.
Ooh. Oof.
What is this classified as? It's a wheat.
What is that? There's a
It's
spice.
it's coriander.
Yeah.
Very,
It's okay. So
very
let me
heavy.
find their website here. Our quest was simple: to make the best Icelandic white ale we ever tasted. Fill up your glass and decide for yourself if this white ale rose to the occasion. Using only the highest quality ingredients, pure Icelandic water, and a touch of oats, hints of orange, and coriander in a century-old brewing tradition, we crafted what we believe to be the best of all white ales. What is white ale? Our Icelandic white ale features the complex flavors of a classic Belgian wit beer, spiced with traditional orange peel and coriander, all brewed with Icelandic water to deliver cool smoothness that are flavorful, refreshingly drinkable. While most white ales are thought as a summer choice, ours is great in the cold of winter or on hot summer day. What makes ours different is the attention to detail, from the perfect ingredients to the final product. Make sure to deliver only the best. 5.2%.
We've probably said it, but this is what Blue Moon and Shock Top want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best American version that I've had of something like this is the Cigar City Florida Man.
It's so easy to drink that beer.
That is really good. The Einstök White Ale got a 4 from Zach, a 4 from myself, and a 4.25 from Nathan originally, for our overall seating of 13. So this is very much so not like how you would do it in like a basketball tournament where the lower would play the high. This is a pretty even matchup here.
Okay.
Do we have notes on what this is supposed to taste like?
So let's base it off of a wit beer.
You know it's a good beer when you can't put it down.
Good. Overall impression: a refreshing, elegant, tasty, moderate, strong wheat-based ale. Moderate malty sweetness, often with light notes of honey and or vanilla, with light, grainy, spicy wheat aromatics, often with a bit of tartness. Moderate, perfumey coriander, often with a complex herbal, spicy, or peppery note in the background. Moderate, zesty, citrus, orangey fruitiness. A low, spicy, herbal hop aroma is optional. Should be very pale straw to very light golden color. Flavor should be pleasantly malty, sweet, grainy, zesty, orangey, citrusy fruitiness with a refreshingly crisp and dry, often tart finish. Can have a low bready wheat flavor. Optionally has a very light lactic tasting sourness. That's where the sourness comes from, or the tartness would come from. Just because sometimes wheat beers do have a little extra in the lower pH, so they can have a little lactic acid added to them. I know that I've made a wit beer that had a little bit of lactic acid extra, and it's the way to get your water profile a little bit different, because sometimes I guess maybe the Belgian beers are a little bit lower in the pH. Not necessarily sure, but I understand where that's coming from. Yeah, pretty simple stuff. You should taste what they say is in it. A little bit of orange, a little bit of coriander, lots of wheat. It should be clean. It should be dry. And commercial examples are St. Bernardus Wit Beer is the only one we might have had. The other ones are Allagash White, Blanc de Bruxelles, Cecil's White, Huguden Wit,
Hogarden.
and Omagong White.
Okay.
I'm still stuck on Huguden.
I like this very, very much. Everyone, welcome in the Swedish chef. Let's do this.
God, when I laugh now, I just turn freaking like a tomato.
Well, someone shaved their head.
Today.
It's you. I don't know if you knew.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway,
Me, you bitch. But anyway, what are we feeling?
I think we sound like a broken record sometime when we say, "Oh, this checks all the boxes." Because what do you know? We chose beers that fit their profile.
We went
Good.
the highest ranking beers best off of their profile, so now they all hit the boxes.
Yeah. No, it's I have to say that the head retention is none on mine.
I got none.
Which for a wheat beer should be a knockoff. Honestly, a wheat beer should handle it, and oats. It should handle.
You say that every time, but we've never had a wheat beer that held its head.
Okay, maybe brewers are dumb, because that's like when you Google how to keep your head or how to have head retention.
Welcome to Head Talk. Welcome to Head Talk.
No, if you Google how to help head retention, it's adding in things that are a heavy malt, like wheat or oats. And if this has both of those in there, either one, it doesn't really work and people are just like shooting shit out their ass, or two, it should work and this one doesn't.
But haven't we talked about like the oils from coffee can make a head go away? Could it be oils from like citrus?
It could. If there's enough in it. Now, the oil in a citrus zest is a lot less than what there is in a coffee bean.
Well, yeah, but
coffee beans are pretty oil heavy, so you'd have to have a lot of it in there, and I'm not sure the flavor is conducive to having that much zest. Because it's there, but it is not prominent. Prominent flavor is
much more coriander.
Yeah. It's coriander. Which I appreciate, because myself, I am a massive traditional Goza fan. Like, I don't want my Goza to have lime and orange or passion fruit or anything. I want a lactic, tart, coriander, and salt-based Goza.
When I meet people and tell them about our podcast, the first thing I say about you, massive traditional Goza fan.
Exactly.
That's just, it's like, then they look at me because they don't know what Goza means. And then I have to explain what all beer is. It's a weird process.
And then 2 days later, they're
like,
I realized
don't
they're
want to
gone.
ever talk to you again.
Yeah. 2 days later, wind the clock, and that's what hops are.
Now, have I talked to you about yeast yet? Go ahead and sit down. We got a week to cover it.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Icelandic white ale. Let's talk about the flavors of it. We've talked about the appearance. It's okay. It's clean. It's clear. It's a nice straw color. Head retention is non-existent. Flavor-wise, very heavy in the coriander. At least it doesn't taste like coriander, but a beer that you could tell the coriander's there.
Yeah, I think that stands out.
It does.
And I love spice. Spice in anything is great.
It was definitely the first thing that I noticed. I had to go in for a second sip before I realized that there's a hint of citrus in it.
And I think the reason you notice that first thing is because of the aromatic quality of it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's part of the nose and the taste, so it's going to hit you first. I don't know. What do you guys think about the bitterness of this beer? It's almost, I could stand it to be a little more bitter.
Agree with you there, but technically it's spot on.
I was gonna say, then we're getting into like pale ale and IPA territory, not wheat ales.
Yes and no.
I don't want it to be pale ale bitter. I'm just saying, like, something.
The bitterness could come from more coriander or more orange zest, technically. You don't have to hop it up. But technically, the IBU is only 8 to 20. And a lot of beers, if it's 12 IBUs, you don't notice it at all. It's just barely enough there to keep it from being too sweet. So I kind of agree with you, Nathan, in that I would like a little bit more. But technically, it's in its realm.
Maybe what I want is less bitterness or more bitter. I don't necessarily want more bitterness, excuse me, but I might want less sweetness.
Mm.
I think it should finish a little bit drier. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm thinking.
It does finish kind of. It sticks on your tongue. At least it does mine. There's like a little sweetness there, but not much.
It should finish a little bit drier. I do definitely agree there. Which for again looking at the classifications of it, it is at the highest range of wit beers technically. So it's
for ABV.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
gonna be of the sweeter variety of them, but still a finishing gravity of 10-10, 10-12. It should have a little bit less sweetness. It's kind of like we're nitpicking here in that this should have a little bit less sweetness, and to me, the Doppelbock should have a little bit less punchy flavor. It should be a little bit smoother.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion on it. But
Okay. We're doing nothing but nitpicking this entire tournament. So, especially with some of these seedings where it's like, oh, wow, these beers are right up against each other.
I think going directly back to the Doppelbock already made my decision for who's moving on. And that's... So, I want to let you guys drink and see what you think before I call it out, because it's very, very prominent as to
we've all guessed. It's fine.
What's going on?
We all know. It's fine.
Well, what do you think?
Oh, you're going Einstock all the way.
Well, I am. I'm going Einstock all the way. That's not because the Einstock is like that much better. The Einstock, in my opinion, is better. I do like this beer more. I think it is the better beer. But the reason
that came out.
The reason I think it's better is because yes, the raisin that came out, and all I did was think I want that Saint Bernardus Apt 12.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm drinking a Doppelbock and I think I want a quad, that's wrong. Like, that's serious. That's not what I should be thinking.
Yeah, I think I'm actually with you. I was originally going to pick the Doppelbock, but going back to it and getting that, yeah, I think I'm going to go Einstock as well. Nathan's not.
Nope.
It's too close to Belgium.
Okay, so since these both fit their profile, I'm going Doppelbock all the way. In fact, it's not close. Like, it's such a better beer than the other one. I can't believe we're doing this.
This is so. You were Barry from last week with the Young's Double Chocolate Stout.
Yeah. And you two going with the Two-Hearted.
Because when I was editing that episode, like, we made our decisions, and then it was just like a 5-minute monologue from Barry. It's like, no.
Young's Double Chocolate Stout.
Okay, this is, again, it comes down to personal preference. I really do like the white ale. It's the best version of that type of beer that I've had. I don't like that type of beer. Like, I like it. I like it. I think it's good. It's not something I would choose right now.
Okay, so...
Just going to go ahead and sit back and listen.
Off topic for just a second. And not necessarily off topic, but off beer. The wit beer is a classic Belgian beer. If your opinions are that this is the best one you've had, but it's not what you want, what if it had Belgian yeast in it? What if we had a true Belgian wit? Like, how far would that beer go in this tournament? If it was up to Nathan.
I mean, if it was up to Nathan, let's face it. I would somehow make it to where I didn't have to drink any of the others the rest of the tournament, and I somehow disguised it and just drank that the entire time and been like, all right, that one.
So what you're saying is you love the coriander.
Yeah, my white ale looks a little weird, man.
You love the wheat. You love the orange. You just wanted to have Belgian yeast instead of classic ale yeast.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
We found Nathan's bias. and it's towards Belgian beers, so he can no longer vote at all towards anything non-Belgian.
First of all, I think I stand for everyone that loves Belgian yeast when I say, fuck you. And no, I may have exaggerated a little. I do prefer the Doppelbock. Yeah. I love a heavily malted, more caramely beer. I even like that raisiny, kind of that currant type of fruit taste more than that type of ale. That's just me. It's just me. Hey, and guess what? The other one's moving on, so fuck me. Hey.
Well, also, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that opinion because that is a damn good beer. I mean, it's very good, but the reason it doesn't move on for me is because when I drank it, coming back to it, and I thought I want that St. Bernardist App 12.
Yeah.
Like, that's disappointment when I want another beer that's similar. Mm-hmm. If it's going to move on, it has to be the beer that I'm thinking, yep, that one.
But let me tell you. So, let's look at this. We don't have a score for me on the Aventines, the Doppelbock, and I gave a 4.25 to Einstück.
Mm-hmm.
I would only give a 4.5 to the Aventines.
I'm putting you down then, 4.5.
Like, and that's less than what you guys gave.
It is. All right, but we're marking it down. The Einstück White Ale is moving on.
I can see this now. We're going to get to like the last 4 or 5 beers, and then our friendship is just going to end because we're just fighting over beers for an hour.
Guys, I just realized there's a crack in my phone.
Is it the actual screen or the screen protector?
I think it's the screen. That's sad. I know.
Well, while Nathan contemplates life and phone problems, I think we should move on to our second roundup.
Yes.
Be back in a second.
Oh, wait. What do we have? What's the one?
It's Asahi Dry and Stone's Arrogant Bastard.
Oh, stay away from that camera. Good God.
And we're back with more beers. This time we're doing Stone's Arrogant Bastard versus Asahi Dry.
So, it surprises me every time for some reason.
And I'm Nathan. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
This is going to be a fun one to edit. You get the bottle opener out, you crack the top off or crack the cap off a bottle, and then realize it's twist off. Does it ever just like weird you out?
Oh, is Asahi twist off?
Yes.
I definitely cracked it.
It is?
Yes.
It is.
Oh, I had no idea.
So you just assume, right?
Yeah, so used to not having a twist off. Anytime I see one, it's like, what is this technology?
What is this cheap shit? Ugh. But no, Asahi Dry got a 3.75 from Zach. Hang on. Looking at the wrong one. No, yeah. A 3.75 from Zach, a 3.75 from me, and a 3.75 from Nathan. Where Stone's Arrogant Bastard got a 3.75 from Zach, a 4 from me, and a 4 from Nathan. Meaning that this is number 21 on the Asahi Dry, and this is number 22 on the Stone's Arrogant Bastard. So, super fucking close to get these seedings. Who did this?
Oh, no. We'll have to check with the committee and figure that out. Next year, when we do this again, not happening. No, never again.
This has taken a year.
It has taken like 7 months to get to this point. We still have the rest of June to go.
We planned this in September.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, almost a whole year.
Started in October.
Yep.
Yeah.
World War Beer, yo.
Still here.
All right.
And 3/4 of a year later.
So I'm thinking we should not start with Arrogant Bastard. So that way we can get an idea of some sort of flavor with the Asahi Dry.
Oh.
What?
Oh, sorry. My screen just went black. but it came back. It came back. It came back. I'm good.
Yeah, we lost
All right,
video for a
Nate.
second, but
Asahi Dry. That's what we're going with.
All right.
Asahi Dries uses carefully selected strains of yeast that not only facilitate outstanding fermentation, but also enhance the beer's sophisticated aroma and refreshingly dry taste. I'm looking at their website, and their website is fantastic. Asahi has a great website. 1889 is when it was started. In 1889, the predecessor was Asahi Brewery and Osaka Beer Brewing Company was founded, and its singular purpose was to produce world-quality beer in Japan. Employing time-honored German brewery techniques, the company introduced Asahi beer. It was quickly embraced as a top-quality domestic beer, and by 1903 had become the best-selling beer in Japan.
now, was it Asahi or the Tsingtao that we found out was actually brewed in the U.S.?
Singha.
Now, and who was it that was in Canada? Sorry to add on to that.
That was another Japanese brewery. It was it started with a K. Oh man,
Kirin Ichiban.
Yes, that was in Canada. Good job, Zach. Good job, Zach.
Which they own. Who do they own now? One of the big breweries. Oh God.
This is actually imported into Toronto, Canada. So there is a Canadian follow along here with
Interesting.
Asahi.
Anyway.
Okay, so I kind of love this beer. Like, Zach and I were talking before he got back in here. The smell of this beer, like when you open it and you smell into the glass, is beer. Like, that's like if you just went baseline beer.
Yeah.
Like,
so move arrogant bastard out of my way just a little bit so I don't knock it over. Actually, more into my way so it's more in focus. Whatever. Move myself, Barry. Move myself. So Asahi Dry is a lager, and it's a Japanese rice lager. But it's like the most quintessential version of a simplistic lager that maybe there could be. It doesn't have that European skunkiness to it. It doesn't have the absolutely non-flavor existent palate of an American lager. And its closest brother, like legitimately, after the first like 6 sips, its closest brother is Sam Smith Organic Lager. And those are big fucking shoes.
I was gonna say those are some big words to say.
But it's not as good. It's definitely not as good. I mean, there's a reason it's number 21. But, like, other than the fact that it is not open fermented by Sam Smith in England, and it's a rice-based lager, like, it's as simple good as that is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not as good, but it's as simple good.
and
If that makes sense.
Zach, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, the flavors are, there's not a ton going on. They all work very well. The mouthfeel is great. It's very refreshing. It's such a easy drinker. Like, this is what you want a lager to be. You don't want it to be some crazy thing that maybe that's too sweet, or that flavor's a little weird. This is like just perfect.
Almost to the point of us not being able to describe it.
Yeah, like,
So far.
Yeah.
I would say that the rice adds a unique complexion to it, a unique taste profile. Like, you talked about it being similar to Sam Smith in the terms of this is like pure lager.
mm-hmm.
But that rice, you can tell it's rice. You can tell it. Just based on the flavor. It's malt and yeast forward. I don't have much else to describe it other than, like, if you like American lagers, why aren't you drinking this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like other than like Sam Smith or your craft brew lagers, like there's not any better. Like
Yeah.
simplistic, light flavored, balanced, easy drinking, go it down, smooth. Drink 10 of them, drink one of them. Like it meets the balance.
What was the ABV on this? Do we have that? I'm assuming pretty low.
Uh, 5%, 5%.
So yeah, you could pound quite a few of these.
Absolutely. And so when you search rice in the Brewers Association qualifications, there's not a rice lager, but there is a pre-prohibition lager, rice. And an overall impression is a clean, refreshing, but bitter, pale lager, often showcasing a grainy, sweet flavor. All malt or rice-based versions have a crisper, more neutral character. The higher bitterness level is largely differentiated between the style and modern mass-market pale lagers, but the more robust flavor profile has set it apart. Low to medium grainy flavor, slightly sweet maltiness may be evident, although rice beers are more neutral, medium to moderately hop aroma. Yellow, deep color, substantial, long-lasting head. That doesn't exist.
It's still
Flavor.
covering the top.
Oh, mine has none.
Oh,
Yeah, mine's gone.
I still have
Huh.
some.
Oh.
All right then. Zach's got the outlier. Medium to medium high maltiness with a grainy flavor. A roundedness if you have corn in it. An impression of a slight sweetness. All malt and rice-based versions are often crisper, drier, and generally lack the corn flavor.
Okay. What do you know? This checks maybe all but one box.
Yeah, I think it doesn't have quite the hoppy presence that this is saying, but this is a very wide-ranging classification
Yeah.
in that it has like it alone its classification of final gravity can be anywhere from um, a 1010 to a 1015, meaning that if you brewed it, it could be anywhere from 4.5% to 6%. Like it's a whole almost two different ABV differential. Then you could have a corn version, a malt version, a rice version, a hobby version, a non-hobby version. Like there's no true classification according to the Brewers Association of a rice lager. There's just variants. So based on the variations that you're given, exactly what you said, Nathan. What do you know? It fucking meets the standards.
Yeah, I have no qualms with this beer.
It's so clean.
Mm-hmm. It's the simplicity is nice, but it definitely makes it hard to talk about. Like we've listed the flavors and
yeah, that's it. I couldn't. I would be hard pressed.
Did we lose Nathan?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, something's going on with my Discord. I'm sorry.
Oh, you came back for a second.
Looks like you're back.
But wait.
Oh.
Oh, there we are.
There we go.
I'm
Okay.
back.
There
Okay.
All right. So back to what I was saying is, other than going craft, there's not a better mass market lager. Like simplistic style. Like I would argue Sam Smith is craft because of the flavor that is like they're macro. They're huge. They're a huge brewery, but their flavor component is so dense and yeah, like they're very very distinct to where like if you wanted a simplistic lager going better than this, you'd have to go Sam Smith or Mother's or I would argue this is better than Founder's Solid Gold. Like this should have been on our blind lager taste testing.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been.
Yeah.
I would say it's better than Solid Gold. I would say the better ones that I've had, just literally off the top of my head, are Step Dude. Obviously,
Step 2 was good.
That's a fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me.
I wouldn't mind this going up against Sam Smith, to be honest.
Is it in that side of the bracket? You say that, Nathan. If it wins and Sam Smith wins its matchup, they face each other.
Yes.
Now, we can't let that sway our choices. Just
No, we
because we
can't.
want to
No,
see
we
it.
can't.
It already has. Sorry.
Worst case, we'll do a lager episode.
Now, have I had the arrogant bastard yet? No, but we got this.
But we've established this Asahi Dry is like shockingly good.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be this good, but it is.
Yeah.
It shocked us then. It shocked us now. It's
right.
here.
It's here. What else is here is Arrogant Bastard, the complete fucking opposite of a beer. It literally says on the can, if you are a weakling, fuck you.
Okay.
We lost video again.
Yeah, my Discord is...
We can do a small cut and you can restart if you need.
Okay, it came back. All right, I'll just drink Arrogant Bastard and let's see what happens. All right.
It is shocking after the Asahi Dry. It's an American strong ale, and it's a strong ale.
I think the correct term is Jesus fuck.
It's quoted as "you're not worthy," which is like what I said, but okay.
This has also been like the champion of the podcast for like a year now. We always talk about this beer
because it's a great buy.
It's either that or Two Hearted. It's one of those two.
I would argue this because it's the same price as Two Hearted, and you get 6 16-ounce cans.
At what, 7.2%?
7.2%. I'm not going to read this long fucking 3-paragraph thing they have on their page because we've done it before.
Like twice.
They classify their IBUs, but I'm pretty sure I saw it before as being 100 IBUs. They're untapped. Their official untapped quotes them as being 100 IBUs. It's extremely bitter. It's an American strong ale, meaning that the color is not of what your IPA would be. This is like a red ale in color. It is bitter. It is earthy. It is malty. It is boozy. It is all the fucking things.
It is
like if you're.
It's the Spinal Tap of beers. Everything's up at 11.
If the Asahi is a simple rice dish, this is combo fried rice.
Yeah, like seriously, Asahi is like it's simple, it's simplistic, it's good. Enjoy it. Arrogant Bastard.
Yeah.
You have taste buds? Fuck them.
Yeah, Asahi is, we marinated a piece of chicken, we grilled it perfectly. We put it on a bed of rice with a little bit of cilantro in it.
Steamed rice.
Steamed rice. This, we did pork, chicken, shrimp, and chicken.
Also, it's curry rice.
It's curry rice. And then we had an entire bottle of sriracha. We just put all of it on there.
Oh, and for fun, some kimchi.
Yeah, and there's some kimchi on the side. And other side.
Nothing's more fun than kimchi.
Like that. It's great. Like it's a great beer, but goddamn, the difference between the two. I don't know if I've had a more striking matchup.
No, not even with a chocolate stout and IPA.
Yeah.
Woo! All right.
It'll wake you up.
Okay, let's go back to this. This is a super bitter, super strong, heavy flavored beer. It has none of the simplicity of the Asahi. This is actually, compared to the other matchups we had, this is a perfect matchup because we have opposites.
Complete opposites, yeah.
Yeah.
And the bitterness stays.
The bitterness.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it
flavor.
almost weighs out its welcome. Like it's
Almost.
like,
So, have you ever had like I said, different flavors, but like chocolate covered espresso beans? How the
Yeah.
black coffee bitterness just sticks on your tongue. This does that same thing.
Oh,
It's just
and
there.
it gets heavier.
yeah.
Like, okay, I love Arrogant Bastard. Like, we get it probably once every 2 months to like as a 6-pack. It's so striking the difference in beer when you like if you just get it out of the fridge, you're like, I might have a beer, and you get Arrogant Bastard. But when you put it up next to something that you're like, oh yeah, that's a really good, easy drink. That's a beer. Arrogant Bastard, this is not a beer. This is a fucking shit show for your tongue. Like,
It's like, do you want to sip on a glass of water or do you want to sip on a glass of whiskey? They're very two different experiences.
Okay, I got this.
do you want a flaming glass of whiskey?
I got this. All right, so Arrogant Bastard. Where's it from? The U.S. The U.S. What do we excel in when it comes to international relations? Bombing the shit out of people. We have so many different weapons and ammunition to just like level countries. You know what Japan has? The samurai sword. It slices through things like butter, and it's so simplistic. It's just folded metal.
Yeah,
It's just sharpened folded metal.
but it's
It's-
precision.
It's precision. That's the difference between these two beers.
Yes, that's so right. You got the Japanese.
I hate
versus
how
the
right that
Americans.
is.
The Americans bomb the fuck out of them. Japan, meticulous.
I don't have a mic to drop.
Perfect. Oh my god, that was
It's a katana versus a nuke.
yeah, that was great, Nathan. And that's
Sad.
why-
Zach, you didn't need to bring up nukes in Japan. That was whew.
but all of that being said, that's why Asahi Dry moves on, in my opinion.
Same.
Same. Like, this is the third one that I've had, and even not having it next to a beer like this, because I'd have been drinking pale ale and Two Hearted, and I think I had a torpedo in there. I grabbed this out, poured it. I was like, yeah, I'll have one. First, it was just.
Yeah. Yeah.
It always slaps you in the face. You always go back. It's an abusive partner.
It's a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't quite quit it, but it's
Yeah.
not good for you.
Yeah. It's the best sex you ever had, but they stole all your money.
Oh.
Yep. Well, that was pretty easy. That was a great workaround, but that was a pretty easy moving on.
This is an interesting episode.
Asahi Dry is moving on. Now, granted, that does not mean Arrogant Bastard is bad in any way.
No, absolutely not.
That's just a fucking roller coaster ride for your tongue under a flaming mountain of volcano ash.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love it, but whew,
There's still a lot of beer to drink.
there's still a lot of beer to drink.
It was funny,
around
Barry.
for-
I was going to say, it was funny. Before you got back with your beers, when Zach and I were here, Zach was like, well, of course, your first thought is Arrogant Bastard's going to move on. And then you open the acai, you take your first sip, and you're like, oh, never mind. Like,
yeah. It's crazy. Like, I do not have a surprise, or I would not be surprised if Two Hearted moves on, or Sierra Nevada Pale Ale moves on, or even Voodoo Ranger moves on. But when I opened them, I was like, Arrogant Bastard could go all the way, or it could get knocked out right now.
Mhm.
Like, that's how striking this beer is. Sierra Nevada Pale Ale? Nah, that could easily win. But there's no way it would lose in the first round. Maybe no way it would lose in the second round. Like, this is Florida in basketball. That's a really fucking good team. But they also suck. So, let's see what happens.
it's the difference between greatness and incredible talent. when it comes to sports. Like, incredible talent can win, but if you don't have the discipline to be just great and win, it happens. It's like this is a preview of our other podcast, Sports Great versus Best. Zach, you won't be on that one either.
Of our other podcast, The Theory of the World.
Yes.
What did I miss on the Cars episode?
You got to watch the Cars episode.
You got to go back and watch it. The audio and the video are off, but
I'm losing Discord again. So, just so you know.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and end it on that
note.
Asahi Dry is moving on. Stick around for Friday. Friday, we're going to be putting up our episode of Negro Modelo versus Erdinger's Crystal Weissbier and König Ludwig versus Boddington's Pub Ale. We did find it. It's still on. Stick around for Friday. Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Have a good week.